Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's session, we will learn about the loop statements in C language, an essential concept that helps us to repeat actions in a program without writing the same code again and again. By the end of this video, you will understand all the loop statements, types, their syntax, examples, and how they work step by step. In programming, we often use a need to execute a block of code multiple times. For example, printing numbers from 1 to 10 or calculating the sum of first 100 natural numbers. Instead of writing those statements repeatedly, we use loop. A loop executes a set of statements again and again until a given condition becomes false. C provides three main types of the loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Let's go through them one by one. For the for loop, the for loop is the one of the most commonly used loops in the C. It is an empty control loop, meaning the condition is checked before executing the body. For the for loop is mainly used when we know in advance how many times we want to repeat a task. So the for loop syntax is initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. For example, we initialize a value and give a condition, and then increment or decrement is done. Example program is this: I is equals to 1, I is greater than or equal to 5, I plus plus, that means increment. If this condition is true, the increment goes on, the I values go on increases until the condition becomes false. Then if the condition is true, the printf %d I is printed. The tracing is something like this. Step 1, I is taken as 1. The condition I1 is less than or equal to 5. It's true, so the output is 1. Second one, I is equals to 2. Condition will become true again, and output is 2. Until you get I is equals to 5, it's true. If I is equals to 6, it's not equal or less than 5. So if a for loop condition becomes false, so the loop ends. Now here initialization sets the starting value. The condition decides whether the loop continues, and the increment updates the value each time. The while loop is also an entry control loop. This means it first checks the condition. If it's true, the statement inside the loop runs. If it is false, the loop stops immediately. The syntax of the while loop is this: while, condition, and loop body. Example, we declared a integer value. This is the condition. If this I is less than or equal to 5, this loop body will be executed. If this condition is false, immediately it stops. And we also gave this: if this is true, the increment happens again, and again the I value will be entered into this condition, and again the output is printed. So this is the example program. I is equals to 1, I is less than or equal to 5. printf. If this is true, then this is printed, and then I is again increased. The I value is again increased. So here I value first has started with 1. So I is equals to 1, the condition is true, output is 1. Same like the if loop example. So when the condition here becomes false, sorry, when the condition here becomes false, the loop ends and the output is printed like 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. So in this way, while loop is also run. The key difference here is that if the condition if false at the beginning, the while the loop body won't run at all. Next is do while. The do while loop is different. It's an exit control loop. That means the condition is checked after executing the body. So the loop runs at least once even if the condition is false. So this is the syntax of the do while loop, and this is the example. We declared, so here we declared a value, and this is the condition I is less than or equal to 5. Printf %d %d. One second. Okay. I is equals to 1. This is do while syntax, and here is the program. Do I is declared as 1, so the do block uh, loop body is printf %di. If this is true and it increases the value, this is useful when you always want to execute the loop body at least once. For example, reading the input until a user presses a key. So here the tracing is I is started with 1, I is equals to 1. The condition is here, the condition is I is less than or equal to 5. I is equals to 1. The condition is true. Until the condition becomes false, the loop ends. So it enters the loop at least once, the body at least once. So next, the differences between the for loop, while loop and do while loop is, let's compare the 3 loops quickly. For loop used when the number of iterations is known. While loop is used when the number of iterations isn't known in advance. Do while loop guarantees at least one execution of the loop body. We also have nested loop, which means one loop inside another. It's often used for patterns or when working with rows and columns in arrays. Nested loops are very powerful but should be used carefully since it can increase execution time. Since they can increase the execution time. Let's summarize this, what we have learned today in today's class. Loops are used to execute code repeatedly. For loop used when the iteration count is known. While loop checks condition first, used when the count is unknown. Do while loop checks conditions later and runs at least once. Nested loops, one loop inside the another one. Loops make programs efficient and help avoid repetitive code. That's all for today's topic in loop statements in C. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and comment. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.